Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we're talking last night's Monday Night Raw on the road to Fastlane. Also, later on in the day, we'll have a news brief. There's been some comments from people at AEW about the CM Punk situation, so we're going to talk about that. Plus, we're going to talk about what might be a new business model with the monthly pay-per-views being potentially a thing there in AEW. That's on News Brief later on today. But in this episode of Going in Raw, we're talking about last night's Monday Night Raw, the continuing saga. Of Jey Uso, and you know, the trust issues there.
Nobody likes him. Nobody likes him.
Well, Sammy and Cody. Sammy and Cody are
all right,
fine.
that's two people out of, 50 people in the locker room.
Out of a lot of people
nobody
in the locker
trusts
room.
him. Nobody likes him.
Well, you know, I mean, we haven't got the opinion of, like, you know, the women's division, you know. Seemingly nobody there really cares one way or the other. So, you know, we're talking about a select group of people that don't like Jey Uso. Larson. Judgment Day likes Jey Uso.
Well,
Not
Judgment
now.
Day is trying to not
Not
now.
now.
They like him to the extent that they're trying to recruit him. But now that he said nah.
Rhea Ripley likes him. She's a fan.
Well, that's what Cody says.
Right. Well, Finn said that too. No, she said it on Twitter last night.
Oh,
Yeah. But now, I don't know about now. You
now,
know.
nah.
Yeah, because he super kicked a bunch of people. So Judgment Day has been trying to pursue Jey Uso. And last night, he pretty much gave him, you know, the definitive word, I would think. And,
it was basically a 2-for-1 special.
It was super kicks for all, except for Rhea Ripley. And yeah, that ended up costing him. 3-for-1 special, yeah. And that ended up costing him a match against Drew McIntyre, who's wearing tighty-whities during the match.
Yeah, he was wearing his undies.
He's this close to being new Drew from We Broke Her Off.
Gosh, I hope it happens. Have him turn heel.
Yeah.
Just full hog.
Yeah, full hog everywhere. Oh, man. So anyways, what do you think of Raw in general last night?
It was fine. I do like how everybody's suspicious of Jey Uso, save for Cody and Sammy. They believe in him. They believe he's changed since the Bloodline days. You know, and it's interesting. They have Kevin Owens, who has previously said to Jey, "I've been in your shoes before. It's difficult to earn people's trust." And I know Jey super kicked Kevin Owens accidentally last week, but Kevin Owens was pretty damn adamant about distrusting Jey, and also trying to get an explanation for Cody about why he brought Jey to Raw in the first place. And Cody's explanation was kind of twofold. It was, people like Jey. My job here on Raw is seemingly as general manager of Raw right now, is to bring Jey here because people like Jey, and my job is to make people happy. Which, all right, Cody. Part 2 of that is you're removing a potential and former member of Bloodline from SmackDown, therefore weakening Bloodline.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Which is the stronger of his two arguments.
Yeah, right.
Is there something more to this from Cody's side? Is there an angle that he's not talking about here?
Did we get we got the SmackDown trade thing, didn't we? The person.
There's been no announcement of who SmackDown got for Jey.
Okay, they haven't. Okay. For a second, it was COVID brain. I was like, wait a second, did we get that? I thought we got it, but we didn't get it.
No.
Maybe he's just playing that close to the chest. He's like, I mean, if the idea is, well, I'm heading to SmackDown, but I kind of don't want to tell people that because it's a very Cody is the ultimate. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing, too. How many people on Raw are going to be resentful of Cody for bringing Jey here, who most of the roster doesn't trust, only for him to say, "Peace, I'm going to SmackDown."
Yeah, which is exactly why he's not going to do that. You know, it's like...
That's shady as shit.
Yeah, he's a politician, though. You know, this is the thing that I like. There's a couple things that I like that's going on right now, because it's not like Raw was like the most eventful episode last night. But they're putting a lot of pieces into place. Now, this might be me wildly, overly optimistic about things, but you and I have been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. There are so many pieces being put into place, and I have no idea how any of it's going to play out, but it's all kind of interesting. Like Drew McIntyre, hemming and hawing last night. Am I going to help out Jey? And it looked like he was about to, and then Cody comes running out. So Drew's like, okay, I don't have to make this choice. I'm going to go because the situation's been handled. But you're absolutely right. Cody is a politician. So what's the first thing he goes to when somebody says, why would you do this? Well, I'm a man of the people, and all these people really like Jey Uso. But also, I want to get a shot at that fucking title. Jay's here, so the Bloodline's not going to get their hands back on him. So I can go back over to SmackDown now. Yeah.
He needs to deliver these promos from the back of a train.
Dude, because here's the thing about politicians. They say they're for the people, but they're all scumbags. All of them. Every single one. and Cody, I think, is probably no different than that. You know, he's like, hey, I'm going to do this to make it seem like it's for the people. And we're going to get him over here. So he's locked on the red brand. One less Bloodline member to worry about. I'm hightailing it over to SmackDown. That's what Pierce said. Is going to make some people mad that somebody's going from Raw to SmackDown.
Yeah. That's going to make a lot of people mad. Namely, Kevin Owens.
Right.
Kevin Owens is not going to be happy about that.
He's not going to be happy
lash out about it.
And he said, I trust you two, Sammy and Cody. So I hope you're right about this. But I have no idea. Like, beyond that, like, I think we know enough about Jay that right now Jay can be trusted. Jay is also a person who is a bit of an emotional wild card, as we saw with the Bloodline. Mm-hmm. He can flip like that.
Oh, obviously.
And I have and he's unpredictable.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I think that there are pieces that they're laying in place, and I'm really curious to see how it's all gonna play out.
No, I agree there. Yeah. You mentioned the bit with Drew after his match with Jay when Judgment Day gets in the ring and starts beating down Jey Uso, and Drew, goes up the ramp about to go backstage, and he hesitates. He pauses as he sees Jay get beat down after, pretty obviously saying no to Judgment Day after super kicking all of them that were ringside. Is it acts like that are going to start earning Jay the trust of the locker room? Mm-hmm. Making the right decision, at least from the face locker room's perspective, not aligning with Judgment Day, not even just not aligning with them, but standing up to them, super kicking them.
Yeah.
And how is there? So they announced that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are getting their tag title rematch next week, I believe, against Judgment Day. Mm-hmm. Is Jey Uso going to try to interject himself into that? And if he does, it seems like, well, it's pretty evident he'll cost Sami and Kevin the match, and to amplify the beef between Kevin and Jay and increase the tension between Kevin and Sami.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you got to think it's going to be the thing where Jay has good intentions, kind of doesn't matter. He's going to do his best to help them, to help prove himself, but he's going to mess up. What they need to do, this is one thing that I love about Kevin Owens, is that after last week, it's not like he's saying, I think that yes, he's more inclined to not trust Jey Uso because of everything that's happened with the Bloodline, but he's willing to trust Sami and Cody, so he's not completely against the idea of Jey Uso. Given that Sami and Kevin are the ones that took those titles off the Usos, and I don't know that it could be argued from Jay's point of view anyways, led him to the path he's on now, who's basically just a man alone. Even if he tries to help Kevin, I'd like them to make that moment a bit more ambiguous than just, oh, Jay was trying to help them but kind of messed up. It was a mistake. It was bad timing, because accidents happen. And I hate when they use that as like, oh, dude, it was a mistake. It's an accident. Why are you mad at me right now?
Yeah.
Like, clearly I was trying, if you watch the tape, I was helping you. Or I was trying to anyways.
Yeah.
And so I do hope they keep it a bit ambiguous. I think there should be a little bit of resentment within Jay towards Kevin Owens. You guys kind of cost me everything by beating us at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'd like that moment to have a little bit more complexity to it than simply he was trying to help, a wayward super kick cost them the match. Because that's too simple. You know what I mean?
It's pretty formulaic. We just saw a couple weeks ago where Jay super kicks Kevin Owens. It was like, it's obvious. Even commentary was trying to say, oh, was this an accident? It was obviously an accident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Priest moved out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and even for commentary to frame it like, oh, what are Jay's motives? I know it feeds into the trope that is kind of played out, where obviously an accident happens. No one goes back and watches the tape over to see, oh, yes, confirmed accident. Hey, accidents happened, all good.
Things right now are so across the board in so many different ways. Even last night when Natalya came out and told Becky straight up, you just trampled over every woman in NXT. Like, what a great point. NXT is developmental. It's there to let the future succeed. And Becky's like, well, I want to see what, how good the future is. That simply means you're fighting people with way less experience than you. And in wrestling, as we know, experience is everything. You could be a 60-year-old Goldberg and be dominant. And the only logical conclusion that we as wrestling fans can come to is because he's got experience, I guess. We've talked about the weird
trumps everything, yes.
The weird pro wrestling trope of the older you get, the better you get. Yeah. Sting can no-sell, devastating moves because he's 50,000 years old. And so getting back to it, though, like Becky Lynch is a good guy traditionally. She goes into NXT, beats a bad guy, but Natalya comes out and says, Tiffany Stratton was doing really well, and you just go in there, take advantage of her sort of, rookie status kind of. And now nobody else there has a chance because you're there. I love that. I think that's awesome,
That is
and
good.
You inject an amount of complexity into your characters. Like, dude, 20 years ago, we wouldn't have seen like a Kevin Owens coming out and saying, hey, do you want me to forget that Jey Uso cost you at Elimination Chamber? Fine. Do you want me to forget that Jey Uso cost you at WrestleMania? Fine. I guess I can do that. He cost me 5 different title matches against Roman. I guess I can do that.
Yeah.
There's such a great level of like, I don't know, they're not insulting our intelligence anymore. Mm-hmm. The people, the characters are acting with the degree of complexity and in a more interesting way.
Yeah, no, it's a lot more rooted in believable human behavior than just, random acts as thought up by the whims of an old man.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people's behavior wouldn't match what would actually happen based on the character and their own motivations.
Yeah. Maggie here in a Twitch chat says, in the larger world of the universe, didn't Tiffany essentially screw herself over? She poked the bear, not Becky starting the fight, but then I guess it could be seen as punching down. And therein lies the complexity, because Maggie's absolutely right. Yeah, Tiffany kind of screwed Tiffany over by poking the bear. But then should Becky go in there and just dominate the entirety of the women's division because one bad guy made a stupid mistake? Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not saying that she should or should not have. I'm saying I like that there is some ambiguity to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're posing those questions to you about, you have people who are viewed as traditional faces or heels, but when you get ambiguity in terms of aspects like that, it makes you think, all right, who should I really be rooting for in this situation?
DJ Fluffy says baby faces hold grudges now, and it helps the story tremendously. That's absolutely true. Drew McIntyre doesn't have to be a bad guy. No. He can just be himself with a memory and a history and play off that.
In a lot of ways, I know we see that it's more commonplace now for baby faces to have a little bit more of an edge and hold grudges and have resentments. That's something Drew's been doing for a while.
Yeah,
he really stood out in terms of how WWE baby faces were portrayed going back years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'd assume that's him standing up and be like, no, I need more than just like, hey, I'm going to smile and always do the right thing and let the fight come to me, be reactionary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because for the longest time, that's how WWE baby faces were portrayed.
Pushovers.
Yeah. And he was like one of the first in a while who was not a pushover.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you love to see it. Let's talk about this. So Gunther's latest opponent, as seems to be the blueprint now for Gunther, is if you want to challenge Gunther, you got to go through his henchman first, and then you get Gunther. Yeah. Tommaso Ciampa. And I'm fine with the formula because Ciampa versus Gunther is going to be an amazing match. It's going to be so good.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be really good.
Chad Gable asked Adam Pearce for another shot at Gunther. Pearce says, look, man, You lost. Good fight, but you lost, and I can't just let you get back in the mix of things. You got to, prove yourself again.
Yeah.
Big Bronson Reed shows up. He says, "Oi, prove yourself against me, mate." And then Chad Gable loses.
Mm-hmm.
Is his push completely dead? What is this story that they're going to tell? Does this worry you if you're a Chad Gable fan, or if you're like me, a Chad Gable hater, then you're over the moon about this?
Yeah, you just want to see take L after 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 L after
No,
L.
I like Chad Gable.
After L after L.
I don't like him. I don't like him
Chad
blaming
Gable.
Gunther. Yeah, Chad Gable.
15 L's in there. No, I don't know. I don't know. Are they doing a situation where, publicly he's like, yeah, I had a great match. I was this close to beating Gunther, but like inside, he's gutted.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
He's gutted, and he constantly has to face larger competitors, and he has to overcome that first. Once he'll have a rematch down the line with, say, Bronson Reed or I don't know who else, and he gets the win. On the right path again. I don't know. I mean, we had been saying for weeks that if they want Gable to be the guy that beats Gunther, he loses to Gunther, and then refocuses, and then goes on a bit of a winning streak. It's not the route they took, so it makes you question, all right, is Chad Gable going to be the guy to beat Gunther?
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason we ever thought that is because really he beat him in a beat the clock challenge match. If it wasn't for that one.
Yeah.
Even more so than the count out, was that beat the clock challenge, first of all. There was like, they're positioning Gable to maybe be, a contender to beat Gunther. And you add that to the count out win, it's like, maybe he will down the line, not anytime soon, but down the line. But after losing to Bronson Reed, I don't know.
Let me offer this, because as you were talking, I was thinking about this. The focus of the match of Gable and Bronson Reed, it was on Gable. It was his story. It was like his knee gave out, or
it wasn't so much that Gable's like, "Hey, I'm going to beat you." It's like, I can suplex you.
Mm-hmm, yeah, right. Yeah,
I can overpower you.
Yeah, and his knee, he had because I think it was he put his knees up when Bronson came down.
Yeah.
And you can't take that much on your knee. And dude, what did we say? Like, this goes back to Chad Gable was a losing wrestler.
Yeah,
and it's unrealistic for us as fans to simply, because I've never liked the thing where, this guy's going to get a push, so all of a sudden he just starts winning.
Exactly.
I'm cool with it with LA Knight, but whatever. And so, like, you need to see, so, like, Gable's kind of back to where Gable was, but now the focus is on him. So it's like, okay, well, the knee, he should learn from this. Don't let a 500-pound man senton on your knee.
Yeah.
And so maybe the next time, he'll actually learn from that. But we've said we want to see them turn into winning wrestlers to get back to the point where they can beat a Gunther. I still don't want him to do that, but I'd like for them to tell that story so eventually he can do whatever they're going to do with him.
What if that includes beating Gunther?
Not into it. Don't like it.
Well, I mean, I guess if they tell a compelling story, maybe you'll turn around on Chad Gable. You've been known to turn around on wrestlers that have been in your doghouse.
I know, but I just turned on him, so it's probably going to be well. I like a lot of what Chad Gable does. I know.
Historically, you've been pretty high on Chad Gable.
Yeah, I've been high on him. I know. I dig it. I think it'd be cool. I think he needs to understand though that if he brings his child to an event and he loses, he can't go around blaming other people. You got to look at the dude in the mirror.
On that. The onus is on you to get the win.
Yeah, exactly.
Chad Gable. Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Look, kid, this is life."
I mean, you say, "I let you down. Mm-hmm. This is on me."
Right. Exactly.
I knew you were sitting here ringside, yet I couldn't get the job done. I'm motivated to do better. You don't say it's Gunther's fault that he made your kid cry because you lost.
Yeah.
Take responsibility for your L's, Chad Gable.
Listen, kid, you learned a hard lesson today. Your dad's a loser, and that's on nobody but me. And maybe a little bit you, kid, because I have to take care of you. It's your fault I lost to Gunther.
Wow.
God damn it. Anyways,
wow.
Before we get started with our recap, let's pay some bills. And by that, I mean remind the people that if they click join at youtube.com/Steven Larson. They get access to our bonus episodes. Dude, just this past Friday, Larson and I examined the definitive evidence presented before the Mexican Congress that aliens were real. Bodies were presented, and we discussed it in depth. This isn't a 5-minute conversation. You won't hear this conversation on those other podcasts. Only hear it going in raw, and only on the bonus episodes, which you can listen to and watch by clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson or going to patreon.com/Steven Larson. Signing up for the $5 a month and up tier. You also get access to our question threads and the upcoming Week of Champions Part 2. That's right. Big Blue is back on the line, and we're going to be doing a predictions challenge, including No Mercy, Wrestle Dream, and Fastlane.
Correct.
All coming up next week. So that should be a lot of fun.
Hey,
2 weeks.
Also, we're on the road. We're trying to get 198,891 subs. Right now, we're 769, if my math is correct. Nice. Away from getting there. We got 414 people watching us right now here on the YouTube. How many on the Twitch? 134 on the Twitch. Hey,
God damn.
If you haven't subbed to our YouTube, please consider doing that. Get us there to 198,891. That would be awesome. Also, you're watching it here on the YouTube live or on demand. Hit that like button. It looks like this. It's a thumbs up. Here it does great things for the show.
We dropped back down to 198, 122. What the heck? What are we doing over here?
We had a video that was critical of AEW. I guess that's what it was.
Oh yeah, I know. My goodness.
Guess we can't do that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh goodness.
Oh man. Anyways, so yeah. Also, we've got merchandise over at friendoshop.com. I got to get some new stuff. I'm just gonna grab a bunch of retro designs of ours and just toss them up there soon, and maybe do some mugs too. I think we could sell thousands of mugs.
Oh, mugs, yeah.
Mugs are great.
Mugs with us on them. I don't think Austin Theory actually has a mug with his face on it, but we will soon, maybe.
You know they have shoes now.
All right,
I designed a couple of Steven Larson going in Raw shoes. They're like,
are they kind of like Chuck Taylor inspired type deals?
So they have those. Oh man, Mr. Dope is now a channel member over here.
Thank you, Mr. Dope.
At the YouTube. Thank you, Mr. Dope.
He's
going to get access to all that great stuff. They have like, well, yeah, they do. They've got like some Chucks, but they also now have sports shoes. And I kind of want to order a pair for you and me so that we can test them out.
Play some basketball in
them. Go play some basketball and just watch our ankles explode.
Probably.
Man,
it's like Stephon Marbury playing those first and ones.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Oh man. Oh God. I hope it'll be ready on Friday. I messed up my neck today.
Yeah, you thought you were out there on the hardwood diving for balls like you were Michael the Animal Smith.
Nothing else was working. I missed so many like point blank shots, and so I'm like, all right, well, if I don't have that going, let me start throwing my body around, my old body around.
It's fascinating. It was the pattern was clear as day today.
Yeah.
That if I let you shoot an open 2, your shooting percentage not great. If I put a hand in your face, it's a guaranteed make.
It was crazy. Yeah. Yeah. It's just instant. Like if I have an open look, I think about it and I whiff. But with your hand in my face, it's just an instinctual thing, and I like toss it up, and I'm like, "Oh, I know it's going in. It's perfect." Yeah. So it's crazy.
It's infuriating from my perspective because like half those that you made, I was maybe like an inch and a half from blocking them because as you were shooting, I would basically high five you. So I'm like a fraction of a second away from blocking that shot.
Good Lord,
it's like a situation where you can't play better defense basically, and yet it goes in, and it's
the worst,
deflating,
worst. It really is. It really is. Anyway, so Raw kicked off with what was this? Oh,
Cody.
Cody. Cody, of course it did. So he says, Salt Lake City, SLC. What do you want to talk about? He says, I was interrupted last week. I'd like to talk about main event Jey Uso. And he's interrupted again. Judgment Day comes out, the other side. And so Dom walks out. Crowd is just booing the living shit out of him. He says, the only thing they need to know about Jey Uso, once main event Jey Uso joins Judgment Day, will continue to be the most dominant faction in all at WWE. He says, speaking of dominating, Mommy isn't here because she was injured last week by Nia Jax, but she'll be back better and soon. He said, tonight after I beat you, I'll be dedicating my victory to mommy. So Cody looks and he notices like Crouch is booing the crap out of him. And he's like, did you guys even hear him? He says, let's give it another thought. Tell him what you said again. And Dom's like, I'm not going to do that. And so he says, big night for you, huh? He says, if you didn't catch it, Dom is dedicating his victory to mommy. Maybe that will be what impresses her enough that she finally defines your relationship. He says, maybe a bit before your time, but I'm getting an Urkel Laura Wilson vibe, Winslow vibe. That's from Family Matters. Mm-hmm. He says, you're more into her than she's into you. All this dedication to mommy. What's the deal? It seems that she has eyes for Jey Uso. If you watched last week, Dom gets mad. He's like, it's not like that at all. We're all family. Once Jey joins, he's going to know what it's like to have a family. A family always has each other's back. And with that cue, Finn and Priest come out. We go to commercial. We see Dragon Lee is in the crowd. He's facing Dom next week on Raw for the North American title.
Yeah, that's something else. That's pretty cool. They got an NXT title defense.
No,
North
that's
American title defense on Raw itself.
I think they're on. Yeah, I think they're realizing, and plus they got TV negotiations coming up, and they're trying to package NXT with that. So
exactly,
they're gonna in the back of their mind, they're probably thinking, just one of those weeks, can we best Dynamite's viewership? I wonder if they
got close last week.
They really did, yeah.
They got really close. It was like 30,000 different or so.
Dom did not get close to beating Cody Rhodes. This match lasted all 5 minutes or so, if that.
Oh, less than that. It was super short. Yeah, Cody gets the win. Cody Cutter, Crossroads. So afterwards, Judgment Day gets on the apron. They want to attack Cody. Kevin Owens' music hits. He and Sammy come to the ring, kind of chase Judgment Day off. But Kevin Owens grabs a mic as Cody is taking his leave. He says thanks to Owens and Sammy for making the save. Owens grabs the mic and says, cut the music. They're already playing Kingdom. Cody, if you don't mind, before we go, why don't you come back to the ring? We need to talk about something.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
So Cody turns around, looks at Kevin Owens and goes, what does he want to talk about?
Okay. So anyways, back from commercial, Kevin says, okay, now we're back on the air and people can hear this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Jey Uso's back on Raw because, see, I love that about Kevin. He even adds logic to the television production aspect of things for the live crowd. He says, correct me if I'm wrong, but Jey Uso's back on Raw because of you. And Cody's like,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Says, so look, I don't think I need to go into detail about what Jey did to a lot of people when he was with the Bloodline. And I know you're aware. Just tell me, why did you think it was a good idea to bring Jey Uso into our locker room on Monday Night Raw? That's all I want to know. It's not just for me. There's a lot of people who want to hear it too.
So Cody goes into full politician mode, says, sure, there's a lot of people who need to hear it, no doubt. There's a lot of people out here who are probably already know why though, Kev. I had a lot of roles, tasks, and duties, but my job is to make these people happy. I'm going to answer your question, but first, you guys all like Jey Uso, right? And right there with that one sentence, it's like the onus is on Kevin Owens. It's like, right. Are you going to defy what the people have to say? And so, of course, the crowd cheers. Everybody loves Jey Uso at this point. And Cody says, I have received a large amount of second chances. He's one of the best in the world and deserves a second chance, and we should give him the time to show us he's changed. Not to mention the Bloodline, we are all familiar with, are down a member. What's bad about that?
So Sammy says, if I can say something, I don't mean to pile on. Kev, I've had your back since day one, but I've known you since day one. You take more time to trust people, and maybe I'm the opposite, but look, I know Jey. I've been through a lot with him in the situation he needed to dig himself out of. You don't have to give him second chance, but I think you should. You've given me plenty of second chances. I've given you second chances. We won the tag team titles in the main event of WrestleMania, and that doesn't happen without a second chance. I'm not saying do it right away. And Kevin Owens says, look, I see that where this is going. I hear you. I do. You want me to pretend Jey isn't a big part of why you didn't win the title Elimination Chamber? I'll pretend. You want me to pretend he wasn't a part of you not walking out of WrestleMania as champion? I'll pretend that didn't happen. You want me to pretend that he didn't cost me like 5 title matches against Roman? Fine. I'll even pretend like Jey isn't one shade of eyeliner away from joining Judgment Day. You want me to trust him? I can't do that, but I trust both of you, so I hope you're right. How much will Sammy look like an asshole if Cody gets his deal done, goes to SmackDown, and Sammy's left there? Oh, I trusted the guy who got this done. And I mean, let's face it, Sammy for the entire time, like his relationship with Jey was very complicated. And he thinks that he can trust him, but he never really could.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, a lot going on there.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin Owens walks out. We get a replay of Rhea and Raquel's match last week. They say that Rhea has bruised ribs. Raquel suffered whiplash after the attack from Nia Jax. And then we got Kofi Kingston taking on Ivar. So this was supposed to be a 2 out of 3 falls tag match. However, Eric was not cleared. So Adam Pearce relays this information to the New Day. And they're like, cool, 2-on-1 match. Let's do it. 2 out of 3 falls. And Pierce is like, no, we're not going to do that. But I can give you a 1-on-1 match. So Kofi and Xavier Woods do rock, paper, scissors. Kofi wins that. And he faces Ivar in a match that was tons of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they gave it time. They gave Ivar an opportunity to showcase what he could do. We all know Kofi's great. And they were busting out all sorts of awesome stuff here. And Kofi got the win. Yeah. After hitting the sunset flip powerbomb, he escaped a superplex from Ivar. Follows with Trouble in Paradise. Really fun match. Go out of your way to check it out.
Yeah, this was an absolute blast. It really was. I love whenever there's sort of like you don't quite know that this match is gonna just capture like everybody's attention because it's
gonna be a banger.
Good.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the way they kind of set it up. It's like, okay, this is kind of a bit of a placeholder match till we get to the 2 out of 3 falls one, whenever Eric gets cleared. But no, that's not how they approached it. This could have been, I don't know, like a 5-minute TV match with a wonked finish to motivate the continuation of the feud, and that's not what we got. We got a really, really good match with a definitive winner.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it elevates the feud. Because then it's like, holy shit, they're not messing around with this. Anyways, so after that, Jackie's backstage with Ricochet. She says, do you have any final thoughts? Because he's got a match against Nakamura. He says, I think Shinsuke looks at tonight as another mind game for Seth, but he's going to learn I'm nobody's pawn. I've moved past Shinsuke. I was over him. The only reason I'm involved tonight is because he decided to attack me. And that made it personal. He can throw flames in my face, but it'll only fire me up. Shinsuke, if it's games you want to play, let's play. I'm a cheat code, and tonight it's game over. For me.
Yeah. Well, that's 2 straight weeks with the wonk finish with these two.
Yeah, I think they, to a degree, want to keep Ricochet kind of strong-ish.
Yes, I guess. But then you would think they want to build up Nakamura because he's going to have another match with Seth.
Like, they should have just had Nakamura cheat and win if they want to keep Ricochet strong, but I don't know. So anyways, that match was next. Nakamura is out first, but as he makes his entrance to the ring, Seth comes out to try to attack him. So Pierce comes out, tries with a bunch of security and drafts and officials to try to keep everybody separate. Rollins breaks free, charges at Nakamura. He gets out of there, hides behind security. Eventually, they're separated. Yeah. So the match starts. Nakamura versus Ricochet. And again, it was a DQ finish. So Ricochet rushes Nakamura, eats a kick to the face. Nakamura sweeps out Ricochet off the apron, looks for a Kinshasa, but instead Ricochet backflips off him and hits an enziguri. So Nakamura goes and gets a chair, try to hit Ricochet with it. Ricochet evades that. He picks up chair, hits Nakamura with it, get the DQ. So Nakamura gets the DQ win after the match. Ricochet's arguing with the ref. I don't know why. It's cheating. You can't do that in a regular match. Yeah, what the heck?
So then Nakamura kicks out Ricochet's leg, hits with a Kinshasa to the back of the head, and just starts wrecking his leg. Hits him with a dragon screw, wraps it around the ring post, slams it with a chair. Seth runs back in, starts brawling with Nakamura. He's looking for a pedigree on the chair, but instead Nakamura backdrops him back first on the chair, and then he slams into the announce table back first.
Yeah.
And Seth just like bent in half over it. It was crazy.
And then as Nakamura goes up the ramp, he grabs a Seth Big Head cutout and puts it over his head.
That was good. That was good.
That was good stuff. So backstage after commercial, we see Seth trying to walk backstage. He falls down. The ref tries to help him up, and he gets into the trainer's room.
It's like us after basketball.
Oh, dude, tell me about it.
Me trying to get out of my car and get in so I can eat some lunch.
Man, hey, I'll tell you what, those, because I usually save my breakfast sandwich for after basketball. Yeah. They taste so good after basketball. Oh, yeah. So good.
Yeah. Every day I drive home tempted, I'm going to stop and get something. Stop at fast food and get something because, I burn a lot of calories. I need the salt because I sweat a ton. I never do.
Yeah.
I
No,
never
man.
do.
The other day on Sunday, I was like, hey, because, I'm visiting my mom a lot these days because my dad's not there. And so I was like, yeah, we're going to bring Lacey and Bammy are coming over. We're going to, I was like, don't worry about making breakfast. I'm going to bring you some McDonald's. So I loaded up. They got what is it? You buy one, get one for $1 on the Egg McMuffins. So I just got loaded up on those and a couple of big breakfasts with pancakes.
Wow. No McGriddle, though?
Nah, man, it's too much. It's too much.
Gotta save
I'll
those
save that. We got there's a Saudi show in November.
Yeah, November. Yeah.
I'll McGriddle then.
All right.
Or
Fair
will
enough.
Or will I? I will. Or will I?
Or will you?
Maybe
I will. Maybe not.
Oh wow. Okay. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
So then we had an interview with Chelsea Green, and it's with Byron, or she calls him Brian, and he's asking about facing Zoe and Shayna because they're a new tag team and they're formidable. And Chelsea's like, formidable? Brian, they're not even a real tag team. They fought each other. They like each other. Blah blah. That's not what makes a team. No, friendship makes a team. That's why Piper and I are best friends. And Piper's like, did you just say we're friends? And she's like, of course we are, bestie. And she's like, all right, fine. If we're friends, what country, my friend? And Green says, Ireland, Florida. You're definitely from Florida. And Piper walks away. And then Byron's like, it's Scotland. She's like, Brian, of course I knew that. Why wouldn't I know where my tag partner's from? We're going to show Shayna and Zoe what a real team's like. She runs off. Is like, Piper, come back. I'm at Scotland.
Yeah. And then we got that match next. And another wonky finish where here Nia Jax appears. And she throws Piper into the ring steps. So we get another DQ finish.
Mm-hmm.
This time with Piper and Chelsea getting the win. And then Nia proceeds to lay out everybody.
Yeah.
All 4 competitors in this match.
Yeah.
Shayna beat Ronda Rousey, and then they haven't really been doing a whole lot with Shayna Baszler, have they?
This seems like a situation where they can't push everybody, and it's like, yeah, it's an impossible task because this Chelsea, I have no idea what they're gonna do. This Chelsea Piper thing is really good. I really like it.
It is. I do.
Chelsea's
too.
awesome.
Yeah.
But like Shayna and Zoe should totally be tag champions. And like, because if they're going to do that team, but also like Shayna should be a champion herself. So I don't know.
I mean, for me, it's just, I understand you can't push everybody, but you got a situation here where Shayna coming off of sending Ronda packing from WWE, that should be a story there. There should be a story and momentum involved in that. And you got to carry on that momentum.
Right, but Zoe just like told Trish Stratus to F off, and she's got momentum too. And like Chelsea has turned these tag titles into like a really great story too.
I understand that, but Shayna was tag champ with Ronda Rousey and decided I'm done with her, regardless of the fact that we're tag champs.
Yeah.
So if Shayna just being like, all right, I'm going to get another tag team immediately, just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I'm not huge into it either. And you're right. But I mean, is she like sort of the Cesaro or like that period of time when Sheamus, who is it? Yeah. Sheamus was in like a bunch of tag teams.
Cesaro was in a bunch of tag teams.
That's who I'm
tag
thinking
team
of.
with
Yeah,
Tyson
Cesaro,
Kidd, of course,
yeah.
with Sheamus. He's Nakamura. He's in a tag team.
Yeah. And he won tag gold with like all of them.
Yeah.
Like she's sort of just doing that, I'm just trying to figure out what what the issue would be. It just seems like they don't have enough. Look, you can always tell a good story and that be fine without a title, but seemingly they're not doing that right.
I mean, the whole thing with Shayna and Ronda was like Ronda telling Shayna, you got to find the killer instinct again. And seemingly she found it and wrecked Ronda because she found it. Where's continuation of any of that, though?
Yeah, I know.
We haven't seen the follow through.
I know, but the thing about that is like, I don't know. It's just hard to book that. Like somebody, I found my killer instinct. I'm going to go around killing everybody. Well, logically, at some point, you'll end up at the title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But like, Rhea's not getting rid of that title.
No, not anytime soon. I understand that.
You know what I mean? No, everybody's saying the answer is simple. Mid-card title.
Yeah.
This is what Gunther. That'd be if there was no Intercontinental Championship, what would Gunther be doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like he'd be in a tag team probably.
Yeah, probably.
Know? Like they need
him and Ludwig Kaiser contending for the tag titles.
Right. Women's Intercontinental Championship. That's Shayna Baszler right there.
Yeah.
And then she just wrecks everybody. You could do that.
They're not doing that though.
They're not doing that. And so they're kind of lost with it is my point, Yeah. And it sucks. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it sucks, but I'm just trying to figure out like this is the problem here.
So anyways, Nia destroys everybody. Hits Baszler with the Annihilator.
Oh, yeah.
And then she leaves and looks back at the ring. Everybody wrecked. Nia says, division, it's on notice.
Oh, yeah. And then we got backstage. Pierce on the phone. Gable walks up, asks him about Seth. And Gable's like, he's like, I beat Ludwig last week, kept my momentum. What do I have to do to earn one more shot? Pierce says, look, I'm a shoot from the hip. That was a career-making performance, but Gunther won. You need to earn your spot. Can't just give you a match again. On top of that, you blamed Gunther for your child crying. Take some responsibility, bad parent. Then Bronson Reed walks up and says, that's right, back in the line, little man. And Gable says, shoosh. Big Bronson Reed, eh? I made my name for myself suplexing big boys like you, so if you want to be next in line, brother, it'll be my pleasure. He just needed a throw. Let me tell you something in there.
Yeah, no.
Then they bicker a little bit, and Pierce says, I've had enough. If you want to fight, bitch. So they're going to have a match next.
Before a match next, of course, we got a Rock Returns recap.
Oh, yeah.
And then backstage, Jackie is with Jey Uso, asked about what Kevin Owens had to say earlier. Jey says, this is all good. I know I got a lot of eyes on me, huge target on my back. As far as me and Drew go, it's about to get physical. So Damian Priest steps up and says, hey, Jackie, can you give us a minute? So Jackie leaves. They need to do something about this. This is a small quote, but I always notice this. So Jackie, of course, is holding the microphone for the interview. Yeah. She leaves with microphone, no audible difference in the quality of the audio. I understand it's boomed. I get it.
Let me ask you, that's a good point. Let me ask you what you would prefer. Fake microphone with a boomed shot, always.
Yeah.
Or what you just said. Like, she leaves and you can still hear them.
They got to motivate the thing. They got to say, Jackie, can you give us a moment? And then Priest needs to take that microphone. Or the interviewer doesn't have her microphone.
You need the microphone.
Okay.
Here, this is one, I'll be honest with you. This is one instance where I don't give a fuck if that mic is real or fake and what they do with it when they go away. I can't stand when the microphone is the only thing capturing audio.
Yeah.
Because it's not a normal conversation. People speak over each other like, come on. And so she says one thing, and if you get like a low talker, like, man, on AEW, if you get Claudio near a microphone, you better boom him up because that guy,
Yeah.
Everybody sounds like Bob Backlund all of a sudden. They're all really quiet and mumbly.
Yeah.
I want that boom so everybody can hear everybody. And maybe this, you put a little bit on the microphone, the handheld microphone.
Yeah.
So that like everybody can hear everything, but when the mic is up to them, they can hear them a little bit louder. Maybe there's a middle ground.
There's got to be a difference in the quality of the audio if the mic's not in the frame.
Yeah. I don't necessarily disagree, but at the same time, I want to hear everybody.
Oh,
but
totally.
I also don't want my interviewer to be micless. That'd be weird.
This is a more casual situation. Hey, they're sitting on the couch, chit-chatting. Oh, by the way.
What is this, like a... Never mind. You say everybody's sitting on the couch and my mind goes places.
Of course it goes places.
Of course it does.
So anyways, Priest continues.
Fucking neck hurts.
He says, I don't know how you view me, but I'm asking you for a favor. The Judgment Day want Uso and the rest are pulling for Jimmy, but I'm standing here and I want main event Jey Uso. I can't make that decision. We are a family. And Jey says, Priest, I know all about family, Oost. And Priest is like, with all due respect, you know your bloodline. He does this. He says this is what makes them relatives. What we got is something special. If you're willing and you want, we could be the family you've been looking for your whole life. Just don't make me look bad in front of my family. Yes or no. Give us an answer by the end of the night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man. Yeah, I think Judgment Day.
Jade made Damian look like an asshole.
He made him look like an asshole. After that, we had Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed. We talked about this a little bit. Match really went awry for Chad Gable when like 400 pounds of Bronson Reed came down on his knee.
And so he lost the match, and he didn't also get the suplex. He lost on both fronts.
Yeah, he couldn't get the suplex in, and then he couldn't get bitch. So he loses that via a tsunami. So Gable goes for Chaos Theory, but Reed blocks it, bulldozes Gable. Reed goes for the senton. Gable gets the knees up, but whoop-ah, knees hurt. He goes for a German. Reed blocks it again. Reed just piggybacks Gable, drops him. Reed heads up top for a tsunami, hits that, and then Reed covers Gable, gets the win. Yep. And then we have Tommaso Ciampa in one of his backstage promos. He says, I like to think I'm patient and I'm an observer. Ooh. Is he the wrestling observer, Larson?
Maybe. You're making a play to be the wrestling observer.
He says, so when I came here, I told myself, stay calm, be patient. Eventually my number would be called. I waited and found out what was patience isn't a virtue, it's a crutch. In this universe, if you want something done, you do it yourself. If you didn't learn, he said do it yourself. He said, if you didn't learn last week, tonight Giovanni taps again. Then what? Ludwig, then what? Imperium, you did not choose me. I chose you. And we don't need to play a game and to know why. Gunther, you have what I want. He throws the chair and walks off. So, like, is there the possibility that the numbers game is going to catch up to Ciampa and he's going to need Gargano to help him?
Maybe. But still, that's 3-on-2. Who's his third?
Who's the third man, brother? I mean, where Gargano goes, Loomis is.
That's true. It's true.
But still, I mean, you'd think, like, I mean, is the ultimate goal just DIY getting together? They're not going to give Ciampa that Intercontinental Championship.
No, they're not. They're not.
I don't even know if I'd want that. I love Ciampa.
Oh, he's great.
But, like, Gunther's special.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Ciampa's not beating Gunther for that title.
Yeah.
No way.
Didn't think so.
So we're backstage, and Kevin Owens and Sammy, they're kind of bickering a little bit. Jay walks up and he says, Owens, if you got something to say it to my face. And Owens like, you think I'm talking behind your back? I'll say it to your face. I think you're joining Judgment Day. Or if you haven't, already you will. And Jay says, last week, hey, man, that was an accident. I'm sorry. And Kevin Owens says, fine. But what about the last few months with the bloodline? You couldn't do without them. The same thing will happen here with Judgment Day. Sammy steps in and says, Kevin, can we all take a deep breath? Seriously, just bring it down. Kevin Owens says, fine. I'll take a breath to cool down because I don't care. I don't care if you join Judgment Day. It makes no difference. We don't have a match. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. You're coming with me. And Sammy goes, yeah. Just give me a second. So Kevin Owens leaves, and Sammy says to Jay, hey, he just needs time to come around. Just chill. Tonight with Judgment Day. I don't know what's going on, but you have a decision to make. Good luck tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then we get the man coming down, Becky Lynch. She says the man has come around to SLC. The man is the new NXT Women's Champion. She said, while I admit winning this wasn't on my bingo card, if I learn anything, you need to take chances when you can. I don't want to win this title and put it on my mantle and say I'm a Grand Slam champion. Though that's pretty nice. I wanted to defend and elevate this title because NXT quite literally represents the future of this business. It represents hope, hunger, passion, and progress. So I want to test myself against the very best the future has to offer, which is why I'll be at NXT tomorrow. But tonight I'm in Utah. I know there's a whole lot of women in the back who work their asses off, who never got an opportunity, who want to step up to the plate. Tonight is the night. I'm issuing an open challenge. I can't think of a better place than now and a better time than, wait, I said that wrong. And then Natalia's music hits. That's actually what Becky said. She was like, wait, I said that wrong. And
That's
then
funny.
Natalya says, Becky, with all due respect, tell me another woman who worked their ass off more than me for an opportunity. 2 months ago, I took Rhea Ripley to her limit. I've been sitting backstage ever since, patiently waiting for my chance. So, yes, I do accept. And Becky's like, Natty, I've got nothing but respect for you, but you've been around here for 15 years.
Yeah, I know.
Natty's like, 15 years of dedicating my life to this. You want to say I'm taking an opportunity? Well, you went to NXT and stepped all over those women who were waiting patiently for their chance. You're nothing but a hypocritical ginger witch. And then Becky gets shoved and says, all right, fine. You want to go? Let's go. Ring the bell.
Yeah.
And then
this match was somewhat short. Becky won.
Yeah, she did.
Runs the roll up after they trade a few roll ups. Natty was going for a sharpshooter. Becky counters with and disarm her. Roll up battle ensues, and Becky gets the better of it. So Becky poses after the win. Natalya looks on. She's bummed out. We go backstage. Pierce is with Dragon Lee, and Dom storms in. He screams about being distracted and mommy not being there during his match with Cody. And he says to Pierce, she's hurt because you didn't do your job. You should punish Nia for last week. Instead, you're talking to this guy. I don't like guys with masks on. They remind me of my deadbeat dad. So next week, I will remain NXT North American champion. Dragon Lee says to him, I have no idea what Rhea sees in you, but what she will see next week is you without a title because Dragon Lee is leaving Raw with the North American Championship.
That's right. Maggie says, why did Natalia have to bring Becky Lynch's hair into it? I did think that it wasn't the most cutting, of insults.
No.
A ginger-haired witch.
No.
You can get a little spicier than that.
Yeah. I mean, the line about taking opportunity from NXT, the other women in NXT, there's a lot more there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So anyways, after that we have Giovanni Vinci. Let's see it, Larson. Vittoria. Not this time, though. He fought Tommaso
it hasn't been
Ciampa.
for quite a while.
No, this guy, man, oh man. So Ciampa gets the Gargano escape for the win here, and he taps.
I don't know
out.
how much more they could telegraph in at least Ciampa's attempts to get Gargano back on TV. All this do-it-yourself references. He's using Johnny's finisher.
I mean, is he just trying to get this? Is he just trying to make this happen? But there's no actual plans.
Maybe he's trying to will it to happen.
Maybe because he's trying to manifest it. This is democracy manifest.
Maybe. So we're backstage. Byron runs into Seth, who's hobbling around backstage, and he says, "Hey, Seth, how do you feel?"
Hey.
And Seth says, "Tired. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm trying to keep it together, but I'm losing my mind." Again, it's what I say after you play basketball. Says, I'm sick of his games. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get that son of a bitch in the ring.
Oh, my God. Is that what you say about me, too?
This is verbatim. There's places I don't want to go, but I got to go to. If he wants to do things on his terms, maybe I went about this all wrong.
Oh, no.
I'll take my hands off the wheel. Nakamura, the ball is in your court. Name the time, place, even the stipulation. What you got to remember, our destinies are very intertwined at this point. Ask yourself, will you be the one to define your legacy, or will it be me?
Wow, dude, this is exactly our relationship. Crazy, our basketball.
I know. Every time I come over basketball, this is verbatim what I say to my wife. Because she'll say, "Did you lose again?"
I told Lace, I was like, yeah, our main game, like I won that one, but then we played 21 after that, a couple of goof games, but they're like not too goof anymore because I'm like, Larson wants to walk away with a win.
Yeah.
And she was like, of course he does. It's no fun to go there and lose all the time.
It's not. It's not fun. It's not.
Oh, boy.
I was afraid I was going to lose that second game at 21. I had a huge lead. I'm like, I
You
must
were
have
up like
chucked up threes.
18-2.
I was up 19-2.
I don't know why you didn't just go in to get like I know what you wanted to do, but you were so stubborn about it.
I was stubborn. And the more points you scored to catch up, the more stubborn I got.
I know. And it's funny. You try to take me off the line. I'm like, I know you're not going to go in. So I'm not going to budge off this line.
I did a couple times. I tried a couple
once.
times.
Dude, I swear to God, it was one time. I swear to God, it was one time you went in.
I did once, and I got a shot, and I missed it. And I tried again. I didn't like where it was going, so I backed off. I tried twice.
Okay. All right. I got you.
Because I didn't want to hit a one, go back and shoot at 20, and then brick it and go back to 16.
It's a free shot, and you were hitting your threes when it was uncontested.
Yeah, not that much though.
Oh, you could have ended that way earlier.
Probably.
Yeah, that was fun though.
I need to practice some contested threes.
I love getting myself in that hole.
Yeah.
I'm talking about basketball, but anyways. Then we had our main event. Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. Drew wearing his best tighty-whities here.
Oh, man.
Look great. See the whole outline and everything. But anyways, yeah, so Judgment Day come out. Mm-hmm. And let's see, both men go up to the top rope. Drew goes for a superplex. Jey fights him off. Drew with a headbutt and a bullhammer. Eventually, we get a Samoan drop by Jey for 2. Drew rolls out. Jey goes for a dive again, but Drew hits a right hand. Drew goes up top but misses a dive. He hits a spine buster, covers Jey for 2. Drew avoids a punch and hits a neck breaker, kips up. Drew goes for a claymore, but Dom gets on the apron. Priest grabs Drew, and Jey hits a super kick to get 2. So Judgment Day dapped Jay up in the corner as he listens to them. He's like, oh, whoa, okay, what's going on here? And then he gets to his feet. Priest stands on the apron, gives him some encouragement. Jay fist bumps him, and then whoop-ha! Super kicks. Then he gives one to Finn, then to Dom, but then doing all those super kicks, he forgot that he was fighting the huge Scotsman with the tighty whities on. Yeah. He gets hit with the Claymore, which wins the day. So then Judgment Day, they're like, what the fuck? Fine, you're not going to join us, then you're against us. They start stomping Jay. Drew turns around on the ramp, and he's like,
I should probably help him. Don't want to, but I should probably do it.
Right about to take that step, and then Cody comes bolting out. And he's like, all right, I don't need to worry about this then.
Doing the SpongeBob walk, the super fast.
Yeah. And then, so yeah, Cody comes down. He helps even the odds. Takes out Finn, then Dom with another crossroads after taking out Priest. And then Cody and Jay stand tall as the show goes off the air. So there's a lot of shit up in the air, man. I don't know where this is all going, but I like it.
Yeah, I know. A lot going on. You want to answer some questions?
Oh, man, I sure do. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's do it. We got one here from Alex Foster. It says, Larson, KO blames Cody for Jay. What other things would you blame Cody for? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Here's the thing, though. Cody's such a politician. If I try to blame him for something, he'll find a way to spin it that, look, I did this for everybody else. I did this to make the fans happy, and that's a hard argument to counter. Unless you have like actual concrete evidence, like, no, the fans actually despise this person.
It's why I'd be like a terrible politician. Like, I feel like I'd get the public speaking thing down right, but in debates, you have to, I would be terrible at debating. You have to like be able to spin facts and twist figures and manipulate all that stuff. I'd be terrible at debating. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. He has a good point right there.
Yeah, I know. I know. And some like there's that, and also the energy to be like, well, I mean, here I got to go on a 7-minute rant about why this person's wrong, and sometimes I honestly just don't have the energy for it.
Have you? There was an article that was written way back when what's that fool's name? Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's just like subhuman. She was running her running mate, I think in the primary for that seat. And the dirty tactics, and this guy ended up losing his wife, his home.
Yeah, I saw about that.
Everything. Yeah. And it's like, I could not not deal. I don't like bad YouTube comments. You know what I mean? I don't need some guy taking out advertisements with me in grainy black and white. Steve here is a scumbag, you know. He wants your kids to have free school lunches.
Look at him. He doesn't pick up his dog's poop.
Okay, so granted, yeah. They got that on me.
Do you want this person, in charge of your community?
Oh, man. So
representing you want this person representing your community?
Big piece
Steve here. Something about him doesn't smell right.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. Blake Whitehouse here says, do you see Nia filling a role like Karrion Kross, or will she be pushed to the top again? Wow. Oh, she's there to lose to Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, she's going to be a depth guy. Yeah, for sure. She's going to be a depth guy. She's like class of 2016.
She might be utility. Where she gets more wins than losses, but in the end loses to the main eventers.
Yeah. Wait, isn't that a depth guy?
No, I feel like a depth guy is probably the winning percentage of maybe like 60-40.
Okay. You think she's going to have like an 80% win record?
Oh, I don't know for sure. She's had 2 appearances and 0 matches. I don't know.
Is she going to have a better win record than Karrion Kross? Like 6 months from now?
See, but I feel like Karrion Kross is not the best example because, you look at his win-loss record. It's not great, but you see how he affects storylines after people feud with him, and that's a pretty significant role, even if he doesn't even win.
It is kind of cool what they do with that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Kiddo Hudson here, member now for 6 months, says Drew was right for what he did. Flip that guy. Oh, yeah, like Jey Uso, I guess he's saying. And instead of fuck that guy, he's saying flip that guy.
No, I mean, it's understandable why he would not want to help Jay and have bitterment and resentment. I get that.
I know. We promised the people a depth guy video. I'm going to start working on that one, man. I'm going to start chipping away at the script.
Which one?
Depth guy video.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we need to put our heads together for that one.
Absolutely.
B-Man has an interesting question. Dolph is usually the first feud for a big new name. Who is this person in AEW, New Japan, and the peak years of NXT? Who is Prime Gatekeeper?
Fuck, dude. The prime years.
Like it was
of
Cody
NXT.
when he was in AEW. It was Cody.
It was Cody. He was the gatekeeper, yeah. But Cody would also get more wins than, like, Dolph.
Yeah.
I mean, it was QT Marshall.
Yeah, it was QT for a stretch.
Because he would always get beat. Shit, New Japan now, I don't know. There's so many different. You see, Tsuji wants to split the title again.
I saw that. He wants to bring back the Intercontinental title.
That'd be awesome if he did. I guess people are saying evil in New Japan. That's what White Brownie said. I could see that.
Peak years of NXT, Kona Reeves.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That was the first name that came to my mind, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's this? DJE says, would it be wise to attach Jade with Lashley and the Profits? It would allow the Street Profits to feud with Judgment Day and also tease an organic feud between her and Mommy. I'd be down with that. I'd totally be down with it. I think it'd be awesome. Yeah,
I wouldn't have an issue with it. I just want Jade to be featured in a prominent role whenever she debuts.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Timor here says, I recently went to Sonic the Hedgehog Symphony Orchestra, and it was amazing. If you could go to a symphony orchestra where they played music from either a video game, TV, or movie series of your choice, which one would it be? Imagine a symphony orchestra trying to play like the soundtrack to Seinfeld.
Oh, wow, there you go. Man, oh, man.
Oh, Maggie says, I did that Saturday for Black Panther. It was amazing.
Ooh.
So obviously, you just don't want to go to like a symphony play the soundtrack to a movie that's already an orchestral soundtrack. You want a reinterpretation of what it is, I would guess, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know.
Judgment Night soundtrack.
Wow, an orchestral version of the Judgment Night soundtrack?
Yeah.
I don't even know most of those songs. I would do like, the best of Aronofsky. Like.
Well, that's Kronos Quartet. That's string quartet.
No, I know. I listen to that shit live. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
See how they would take care of like the Pi soundtrack, because that's more like keyboard stuff, I think. It's like laptop music, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see here. DJ Mott says, who would you guys build WWE's women's mid-card division around? Oh, dude, it'd be fucking Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, Shayna Baszler. Cursed Hawk here says, as someone who loved wrestling for over 20 years, I find it very difficult to sit down. Half of it is filler. I'm sorry, but I'm not really interested in watching Kofi versus Ivar. The match was fun, though.
That is not a question.
Well, there's more. There's more here.
Okay.
I was editorializing there. I believe it was way more efficient, easier to watch the highlights on YouTube. With that said, do you guys think Raw will ever go back to 2 hours? No, it's not going back to 2 hours.
Not a chance. No way.
All the advertising money USA makes for 3 hours? No.
Oh, God, no.
Would Raw be a better show at 2 hours?
Yeah, of course it would be. Absolutely.
It would be.
It was never going to happen.
I personally didn't think Kofi versus Ivar was filler. I thought it was a fun match.
Filler? Yeah, that's the wrong opinion right there. Dave Matushek says, with ABC simulcasting almost all of the Monday Night Football games this year due to the writer's strike, what do you think WWE should do to garner some audience traction until the season is done?
Oh, no, you just wait that shit out.
You can't do anything about that.
No, the NFL's a juggernaut.
I was about to say it's a juggernaut. You can't do shit about that.
You can't. You just gotta understand these are lean months for wrestling ratings and move on.
I know. Oh, what are the ratings? The ratings should be in for last night's episode. Does anybody have them?
I don't know. What were they? 1.3 last week. It was like one of the lowest.
It's like 1.3
for a non-holiday episode.
It was horrible. Yeah, it was bad.
Johnny Hendricks, how well
1.3 mil again, according to White Brownie.
Yeah.
Damn.
Johnny Hendricks asks, how well would Jey Uso fit in the bloodline? What do you imagine Jay and the gang would get up to? Jey Uso was already in the bloodline.
Maybe means Judgment Day.
Oh, Judgment Day?
I feel like he wouldn't fit.
I don't think so, because Jay is a bit of a wild card. Could be a bit of a hothead. And I know we've seen Finn fill that role for a bit when he was in the title picture, but he seems content now with that tag title. Like everybody in Judgment Day seems pretty chill.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if Jay Uso is necessarily chill. He's wound kind of tight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it'd be a good pairing.
All right, here we go. AJ says, what is a finisher you could take for a month of shows and a finisher you wouldn't want to take once? I think I could take a Gargano escape.
Yeah. I think a lot of submission moves it would be easier to take.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to take a package pile driver and be dropped in my head. No, thank you.
I would never want to take any of Gunther's finishers.
No. Well, the sleeper. If he wins a match with a sleeper, I could take that.
Okay, that's a good point.
But anything where I'm dropped on my head or neck, pass. No, thank you.
Right. Yeah. No way.
Mm-mm.
No good.
Can't do it.
Like I didn't even follow my neck today when we were playing basketball. I felt like on my side.
Yeah.
And my neck hurt somehow.
Maybe it's just when you fell, like a bit of a whiplash type deal.
Maybe.
Subtle whiplash.
Was it awkward for you to see that happen? It was like weird.
It happened mostly behind me. I turned around to see her on the ground.
Oh, like a turtle.
Yeah.
Helpless like a fool.
And you laid there for a second. I was like, are you okay?
You think you were going to see like my leg dangling or some weird shit like that?
No. You'd been like crying out in pain if that were to happen.
No way, man. I'm tough.
No, you're not that tough. No, if there's some sort of horrific injury, you'd be like, oh my God. Because I would be.
Would you run away?
Well, probably not. If you had a horrific injury? No, I'd be like, all right, let me go to the car and get my phone.
Oh, no.
Call an ambulance.
Yeah, get an ambulance for this guy.
I would've
like,
run
no,
away.
it's too expensive. You must take me.
Oh, gosh.
Drag me to the car, throw me in the back, and just drop me off.
Oh, I'd grab you by your wrist and start pulling you to my car. There we go.
Blood from the exposed bone spilling out.
It's just a streak of blood. Looks like a murder scene by the time we leave there, doesn't it?
Oh, here we go. We'll end on this one. Metal Pulse says, why do you think Jade Cargill left AEW?
I mean, obviously, we're not there all the time. We can't say with any degree of confidence. If we were to speculate, I would guess that she probably wasn't terribly happy with the opportunities that she was getting there and thinks she can get better opportunities in WWE. And if that's her take, she's 1,000% right.
Yep. She's sick of that shit.
Yeah. I mean, she has the potential to be a huge crossover superstar. And AEW wasn't going to do that for her because they don't prioritize booking the women's division.
Wait, hold on a second. You're absolutely right. You're 1,000% right. Maggie says, Steve, do you wear your Apple Watch when you play? Because fall detection will save your butt. Fall detection?
Does that tell you you're falling before you fall? You're on the verge of falling. Don't fall.
Steve, you're about to fall. I can tell.
Does like an arm, like a gadget, like Inspector Gadget arm, come out of the watch to save you from falling when you're about to fall?
This is like a giant airbag comes out of it. It says it detects when you fall and asks if you're okay or will call for emergency help. That's why I have Larson.
Yeah.
Said, are you okay?
And if he'd said no, I'd be like, all right, gosh, to call an ambulance now.
Oh, pain in the ass. That's just a
just a massive inconvenience. I'm just here to play basketball.
Day. Yeah, exactly. And then Friday's going to be done with. You're not.
I know. Well, like
if
you got bones sticking out of your leg, that's the rest of that's got to wait till next year because you got to heal up. You got to rehab that shit.
Oh man, if that might be career ending.
That could be
45. Yeah. Oh man, but like, hey, Lars, you want to go out there and do like a free throw contest? I'm like, no, that's lame. I'm not gonna be
boring.
That's boring. All right, bye.
But I'd be like, I'd convince you to do it, and then knowing that you were still weren't up to full speed, I'm like, oh, I got this one now.
Oh man, yeah, you start dominating me. Maggie says, oh, it worked when my mom fell twice. Okay, well that's good.
That's good.
She didn't have Larson there with her. That's why. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today, everybody. Thanks so much. Stay tuned. Later on, we've got a news brief coming up. And until next time, we'll see you around.
Goodbye.